Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It is fantastic you are here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on singer-songwriter Chris McClarney, and through his song Your Love Never Fails, we looked at love, and sometimes it's a love that never fails. So I trust you found that one an encouragement. Well, we're going on to a guy today. He was born in 1951 in Middlesbrough in the UK. This guy has had a number of serious illnesses that he has survived, and so he's very much seen as a survivor in the music industry, that is for sure. The guy we're talking about today is Chris Rea. Now, Chris has got just one of these awesomely gravelly, rock bluesy kind of voices, very cruisy style. He's known for blues, a bit of soft rock, a bit of jazz, and he's also an exceptionally good guitarist. And so this is where we're going today. Between 1978 and 2019, he's released 25 studio albums. Now that is getting up there actually. I talked about Chris Berg a little while ago and he'd done 22. This guy's done 25. It's incredible effort indeed actually. One live album, 14 compilation albums and 72 singles. Now just have a think about singles for a second. We have an album which is a release. We have a single which is an international release as well. So the amount of effort you've got to go to actually get something released internationally, particularly in the 80s and 90s, is well and truly, that's pretty good effort, 72 singles. Now it's estimated that he has sold 30 million albums. An interesting thing about Chris Rea is that he has never toured the US. So this kind of makes it even more substantial that even though he's never toured the US, he's found worldwide success. So very bluesy, jazzy, croony, gravelly, just an all-round performer. And of course, when you're writing your own songs, that just brings a whole new thing into your performing. That is for sure. Now, I first met Chris Rea through the song Let's Dance, and that came off the 1987 album Dancing with Strangers. But I was really drawn to Chris through his album On the Beach from 1986. And there's a particular song on this album that had really, really grabbed my attention. And I trust that today you too will have it grab your attention. This is this song, Giverny. Now, Giverny, for those who've been to France, knows that it is Monet's garden that he spent in from 1883 until his death in 1936. The garden is often what happens after things like that. Is it went into a bit of a dilapidated state. But then, thanks to some donors, particularly in the US and worldwide, it got restored to its former glory and Monet's specifications. And now it is the second most visited tourist attraction in France. When you think Giverny, you think the lily paintings of Monet. This is where he did that series. And it is an iconic location, not just for France, but for the world. Particularly if you like Monet's work, it's just one of those places you have to go to because you see where the master got his inspiration. So we've got this beautiful, stunning garden. Now, what are in gardens? Well, there's a bit of form to them, particularly if it's in France. A bit of stateliness about it. Gardens have shoots, garden flowers that are just starting out. There are bees flying around. We've got lakes which give life to the garden. We've got stunning lawns, manicured gardens, and of course we've also got the stately house. So you get the picture. I mean, if I ever go to France, I think I'd probably see this place myself because I must admit I do like stunning gardens. I do like the way they make me feel. I can remember only last Sunday, me and my wife went up to Mount Lofty Botanic Gardens in Adelaide here, and we're in autumn right now, and so when you see the green starting to change to all the beautiful colours, it really is quite breathtaking, and I count myself very fortunate to be in such a beautiful city, surrounded by such beautiful things. If you've never been to Adelaide and when the restrictions lift, come over and come and see it for yourself. So we've got beautiful gardens and we've got stunning inspiration from Monet in particular. What Chris Rea has done is he's taken this backdrop, and I'm sure there are events in Monet's life that would have also added inspiration to the beautiful canvas, which is the Giverny garden. What Chris Rea has done is he's looked at this word Giverny and he's put his love in there. What he's actually done is he's merged her, and he's called her Giverny. He's merged her into this beautiful landscape that is Giverny. The song starts out very quietly, and song just gradually builds and builds, and then it drops back, and in your mind you're picturing a loving couple walking through Monet's garden. And the great thing about this particular song is, as Chris, who is I suppose the guy in this particular story, holding the hand of this beloved Giverny, he starts to realise that the garden doesn't come anywhere near to the beauty that his wife does. And interestingly, he's been married to Joan since 1968, so there's a pretty compelling love story behind all of this as well. I suppose when you've got that longevity and that life experience together, it's not very hard to actually come up with a song like this one, which is just short of 20 years after they got married. And as gardens have new shoots and water and all the rest, so does love. Love makes us feel so good. Love is a basis, a canvas, I suppose, on which our lives can be built. We can find ourselves doing all sorts of amazing things when we know love. Our hearts are so overwhelmed by the love that we just have to be able to let it out on the world somehow. We need to make a difference, and we can make a positive difference. I am loved, so I need to be able to share some of my love with other people. I think what Chris Rea is doing when he considers this garden Giverny is he is just so overwhelmed by this experience. I don't know whether he went for a visit. He might have, who knows. So overwhelmed by the beauty of this place, so overwhelmed by the beauty of his wife, and so overwhelmed by anything that he just had to come up with this piece of music, because it's not just a song, there's also stunning instrumental in this, that he just had to share this song with the world. And just when you listen to it, and I'll get onto the clips in a minute, you can see there's been a lot of effort and a lot of work put into the production of this song, because Chris is creating a story. He's doing more than creating a story. He is creating a landscape, a soundscape through this song. That is for sure. So if you're in love, perhaps it's a new love, you know exactly what I'm here. You know, the birds are chirping, the grass is growing, the sun is shining, all the rest of it. But as love grows and deepens, it becomes something even more special than that. Something that, is just so entrenched in you that you can't imagine life without it. This is the sort of love that Chris Rea is talking about here as he considers the Giverny garden and Monet's lily masterpieces. It all kind of just gets swept up together here. So we see art, we see nature, and we see music, and we see storytelling all coming together to create a stunningly beautiful piece of music. It's not one of Chris Rea's most well-known songs, but I suppose when I consider Chris Rea, this is a song that I go to, because to me this just captures the brilliance of him unlike anything else. So tender, so uplifting, and so powerful as well. Sometimes words just can't really can't describe how a song makes you feel, but this song makes me feel absolutely amazing. When I hear it in my playlist, I just have to turn it up. It's not a rock song. It is very much a ballad, but there's just something about it I love. So, if you're in a new love, you know exactly how I feel. If you're in a love that's been around for a little while, like Chris Rea has, you also know that feeling of deepness and security that love can bring. Because as I've shared before, love is much bigger than the both of us, and it is the thing that will unite us and bring us together. So I trust that will be an encouragement for you today. Well, on to the clips, and I hope I've tried to paint a bit of a picture here for you of art and stunning landscapes and gardens and music, and just the whole all-encompassing experience that this particular song is. So I encourage you, and we'll get on to the clips. And so there are 3 songs by Chris Rea. We will look at Giverny first. This again came off the On the Beach album from 1986. Now, there is no live version of this particular song, but for my way of thinking, you've got to put this song to the backdrop of landscapes and gardens for it to make sense. And when you watch this particular clip, which is just images put to this song, you'll know and you'll see what I mean. It does start off, this is more than a song. This is actually a little bit of a work, I'm thinking. It's a stunning piece of music, this one. And the story that Chris tells is pretty good as well. Just imagine a watercolour that is your love dancing around the garden. That's almost the feeling I get when I consider this song. It does start off very quietly, very tender, very beautifully, and it gradually builds and builds and builds through some incredible production. And we get into some bit of drumming at the end, and you think, oh wow, oh wow, that's amazing. This is what this song Giverny certainly does for me, and certainly it's a song that you need to sit all the way through to get the whole experience of it. If you just listen to the beginning and think, oh, it's starting off a bit quietly, you just miss out on the experience that is this song. So please, I urge you, watch it all the way to the end. And hopefully, as it did with me, it will uplift you. Now, the world, I suppose, even though Chris started his career in 1978, it was really the song Let's Dance that I suppose that's where I first met Chris Rea. This came off the Dancing with Strangers album in 1987. I suppose I was a little bit intrigued by Chris Rea because he can obviously play the guitar really well. He's got an interesting voice as well. But when I went to the library just to try and find, an album by him, On the Beach was the one that I settled on. And so I grabbed that one and really glad that I did. Let's Dance came off Dancing with Strangers in 1987. This is the official clip of that one. It's just a good old, in typical Chris Rea cruisy style. He's gone for something a little bit more upbeat, a little bit classy. And yes, Let's Dance is exactly what it's all about. And then I've also gone for On the Beach. This is obviously off the album of the same name from 1986. This is a live version of this one. And you'll get to see what I mean by Chris Rea. He's just an all-round musician. This guy singing, playing guitar, songwriting, he does all of that. That is for sure. It's a 10-minute piece, this one. But now, if you want to just get swept away by a guy who knows exactly what he's doing and just really is like settling into an easy armchair when you listen to this guy because he's got such a compelling performing style about him. Just that one's there as well. Again, a live version. Now, all those links to those 3 songs are in the description below. That is where you will always see my links. So they're there for you to have a look at. And I've also included my last video from Chris McClarney. So if you want to recap on that one, feel free. Well, if you've come back for another video, so awesome for you to be here today. You're well and truly welcome back. If you got to the end, fantastic. We love that. This is your first time to Life Reflection through music. Welcome to the channel, and I encourage you to come back for more if you would like. Please note the invitation below that if you want me to have a look at a song, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to do that one for you. Well, that's it for today. I trust I've really tried to paint and bring music together with this beautiful song Giverny today, and I trust that you will go and have a look at that one, and I reckon you'll be glad that you did. Just give it time and space to work on you, and I think you'll be glad that you watched it. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to Christian singer-songwriter Chris Tomlin. There's probably no one bigger in the Christian world than this guy, and so obviously we've got to give him a bit of a go next time. So until then, I'll catch you around.